Mabira stretch on the Kampala-Jinja highway runs across the lush vegetation with a canopy of trees, which is part of the largest tropical rainforest in Uganda. Yet this belie grim statistics. A death trap. Mabira stretch is littered with black spots. I traveled here to investigate the cause of accidents, many of them according to police avoidable as a result of slipshod mistakes. The physical pain could dissipate, but the scars of the tragedy continue to haunt those who have lost their loved ones on the Kampala-Jinja highway. During festive seasons, many people are always tempted to speed, perhaps to catch up with fanfare in the countryside or under the influence of alcohol. In this investigation, I undertake an assignment to find out what causes the accidents. Our story begins in Jinja. Jinja in eastern Uganda was once an economic pulse of the country. Many of its industries, now in ruin, bear the lasting vestiges of what was once an industrial powerhouse. It's about 84 kilometers from Kampala, and it is a main transit route for trucks and other vehicles carrying merchandise from Kenya. At Sezibwa and Lugazi police stations, these mangled wreckages of vehicles have an uncanny story to tell. According to police records, 90 people have died between Lugazi and Jinja since 2013. In 2013, 18 people died. In 2014, 13 people lost their lives and the number dropped by 5. In 2015, 15 people died and the number rose by 2. 2016, 16 people died. The death toll rose by 1 person. In 2017, 28 people perished, a number which is more than double of the accidents in 2014. Police records show that 82 people out of 90 died as a result of careless driving by motorists. Nama Ojolo, a popular booth for roasted meat and chicken, is one of the black spots. The vendors are not supposed to cross to the opposite lane according to authorities. However, many do not want to adhere to the new rules.
Some of them cross, and in the process, they end up being knocked.
Besides the reckless vendors crossing, motorists speed while others overtake from wrong lanes.
It's a built-up area. All vehicles, any driver, before you reach a built-up area, you have to reduce your speed. Your speed should not go beyond 50 kilometers per hour.
Another black spot is Namagunga stretch, which is a climbing lane. Speeding and overtaking are major causes of accidents here.
We have vehicles which come from Kampala side, they overspeed, and there is a prescribed speed limit. There's also a sharp corner as you're coming from Jinja to Kampala. So driver here overtake unnecessarily. That's why we deploy. We deploy officers here. They check on reckless driving, they check on overspeeding, and other traffic-related offenses.
Temple Steel Mill Corner is another black spot on the highway. Another black spot is Temple Mills as the trucks turn off the highway. Kitega is 3.6 kilometers from Lugazi town. Major cause of accidents here is fatigued drivers who ply these routes. Recently, a truck carrying barley veered from the course into the house of 69-year-old Sarah Mukwaya. The driver of the truck and his boy survived with minor injuries. The survivors were still recovering from the trauma at the time NTV reached the scene.
Good enough, I was not around. I thank God for that. So they crossed into my house. It was completely finished as you can see. Then I got a call from some people here. They said, "Mommy, we are finished."
2013, a fuel tanker crashed into another home, which is 20 meters from Okwaya's house.
The Sudhir hubs. Unfortunately, they put sometimes 50 miles per hour. People come and steal them, those things. These people, so I don't know.
Another black spot is Chikawula near Lugazi town, where 4 Uganda Sports Press Association journalists died in 2001. This is one of the narrow paths on this road. A monument has been erected in remembrance of Kenneth Matov, Simon Peter Ekarod, and Leo Kabunga, who worked with New Vision alongside Francis Bate, who worked with the Daily Monitor. Most tragic accident this year was recorded at Sagazi Najembe, Lugazi municipality. At this spot, 16 people perished in February.
I remember very well when I called my boss, I told him, Afande, we are at the scene and we are counting 10 bodies. He asked me a question, are you at the scene or you are being called and you're being told that 10 people have lost their lives? I told him, sir, I'm counting 10 bodies at the scene. I went ahead and told him that they're not only 10, but there are some others who are still trapped. Then he asked me, are you hearing any cries? I told him, no. It is just muted. It was unbelievable. It was a very, very unfortunate scene that time.
The owner of the minibus who also died had just bought it and was acting as a conductor. 2 children and their mother were amongst the dead.
According to traffic police, one of the other causes of mishaps on Jinja Road is that some of the drivers, especially for the trucks, are always under instructions from their bosses to hurry up and take on other transport business deals. It has also been revealed to us that some of the transporters do not fix their vehicles whenever they develop any mechanical breakdown. And when they tell the owners that the vehicle is really down, they tell them, you know what, if you can't drive this vehicle, you can quit. And in most cases, indeed when he insists, they get another driver to drive it. So they are compelled, because of unemployment, as you know, they are compelled to drive such vehicles and then they end up committing accidents.
If the blood from the victims was left to flow, a larger part of the road would be suffused with red. Insanity often returns to the roads, barely after the wreckage is removed. In this investigation, I further tried to check out how motorists drive when it's raining. Some motorists are seen speeding, something very perilous. Even when visibility was bad, some motorists were seen driving without fog lights. Fully loaded taxis and trailers also captured in breach of traffic regulations. They stand the risk of head-on collisions, claim the experts. Around Rugalambo towards the end of Mabira Forest from Kampala, we found a commuter taxi which had just been knocked. Although some sugar factories complied with the police ban against using tractors to transport sugarcane, some trucks were seen with fake reflectors. The use of reflectors is to alert another road user that there is a truck or vehicle ahead. However, when you flash light on some of the trucks, they have no retroflexion effect. Again, a month after, we found another stationary truck carrying sugarcane parked on the roadside inside Mabira. This is a common occurrence. Although the traffic police officers banned the transportation of sugarcane in tractors, which are in dangerous mechanical condition, some drivers use the laxed in deployment to flout the rules. The tractors, which have no reflectors, cause accidents, especially in the night, reveals police.
It occurred at around 9 in the night between taxi number UAN 609U, which was coming from Jinja, and a tractor loaded with the sugarcane, which was heading from Kamuli, going Jinja side number UAH 050P. This taxi rammed into this tractor, and at the end, we lost lives.
At night, the road monster tractors are always heavily loaded, no reflectors, no brake lights. Some of them, the tires are worn out. In front, their visibility depends on approaching vehicles, and behind, you can hardly tell that this is a car or a tractor this side. The misgivings that come with poor visibility were about to play out at the junction to GM Sugar Limited when the tractor nearly overturned. The truck drivers are always in a hurry to be the first in the line. The following day, we went to GM Sugar Limited to find out why they still use such tractors to transport sugarcane. It was difficult to shoot inside the office.
About what?
It's something to do with the trucks that bring sugarcane here.
About trucks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bringing sugarcane. What is wrong?
There are some trucks that do not have reflectors, the tractors. Even some trucks that
Tractors?
reflect, yeah.
I have everybody out there.
Sorry?
Today I don't have anybody responsible person. Saturday, Sunday, it goes over. You come after maybe 1 week.
After 1 week, but you are aware of those trucks?
No, I have all trucks, everything. When you not have, I can provide, no problem. There is not a big issue.
Okay.
Okay?
But 1
Because
week
it's
is...
not from GM trucks.
I'm talking of only GM,
GM I have, no problem.
because one is even parked outside there.
It's
One of
okay,
the
I'm
trucks.
going to sort out when it's not there.
Sorry?
It's okay, let me see what to do.
So who do I call?
You wait, he's not around, responsible person. So I tell you. Okay? Okay, because you're Saturday, Sunday.
So when do I call to get a
You
confirmation?
come in next week.
Sorry?
Next week.
Anytime?
Next week you come maybe around Friday.
Friday. Friday is quite far. Is there a way I can communicate here?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the number.
Give me that number.
But his reflector is not a big issue. Why you want to talk about the reflector, what and what? This is traffic people.
07?
Traffic is going to do his work. It's not your work.
It's both.
Sorry
all
to
my,
I tell you about that.
it's all my work because big accidents are happening as
The
a result of
accident is
those things.
happening, my friend Valua is not
People-
yours, not mine.
No, but they happen. Those
Yeah.
trucks cause accidents on the road.
Not my truck only. And
Several, but one.
people not want accident. You know, people don't like accident,
Yes,
but it's God plan. Nobody can.
but we have to be careful.
Yeah, everybody.
That's why you check your car whether it has brakes.
Yeah, I have no problems.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
70
Mhm.
19. You, Mzee, you shooting.
19? 19?
First, I told you to shoot.
19?
First, let me wait. So,
After realizing we were filming, he declined to give us a telephone number of the
Sorry?
communication officer.
Even now, how do you call
you
them? Let
come
me give.
Friday.
To them, this is a minor concern. The tractors also moved during the day, carrying sugarcane for the factory.
Although one of the GM managers said that accidents are always God's plan, I did not buy the idea. This is because some of these tractors have poor braking systems, and for as long as they stay on the road, many lives stay at risk on Jinja Road.
And when dusk sets in, the indiscipline on the highways continues unabated. Motorists at night, especially those in the climbing lane, join the sloping lane, exposing themselves to head-on crashes. In Buwola na Jembe division in Mabira Forest, drivers were captured in this footage dangerously overtaking from a sharp bend.
It was almost the same time, that is 11 p.m. in March 2017, when 8 people perished on this very spot. The major cause of the accident was overloading of the truck, which rammed into the 2 taxis that were going to Jinja on this side. And among the people who died on spot was Toroma County MP Cyrus Omodoi.
The impact of the accident left a mark on the road.
Drivers, since it is a slope from their side of Mabira, they engage free gear. By the time they reach here, sometimes it becomes hard for them. I don't know what happens, but it becomes hard for them to re-engage gear. So the vehicle lose control and then accidents occur.
The next day we went to the same spot. On the climbing lane at Chitigoma, risky overtaking by motorists is the order of the day. The departed lawmaker was headed to Palisa district.
The truck was loaded with soap and cooking oil. It lost control, it left its side, and it came and knocked 2 taxis which were coming from Kampala.
Mbiko, a bustling trading center, is 6 kilometers from Jinja town. Police say at least 2 people are knocked dead by speeding motorists every month. Motorists drive without any regard for traffic regulations. One of the other causes of accidents along Jinja Road is dumping. At the spot near the old bridge on the River Nile, Skyfar Tannery dumped effluents on the road, blocking almost the entire lane. The decomposing hides are very slippery and dangerous to maneuver through by the vehicles. It was done in anticipation that the pounding rains would clear this debris, and besides blocking the road,
the stench from the decomposing cow hide that you get in this place can be compared to that of ammonium from a rotten egg that has spent about 30 days or 40, combined with meat that has spent about 2 weeks.
Anything to show that you are protecting that thing. You know that this also another thing. For this one you have done, you are blocking the road. These are the things which are smelling.
Hey, madam. These things they are smelling as if but you go up there.
After trying to reach Skyfart management in vain, we went back to Jinja after a month to give it another try.
Who can we talk to within this factory?
The person who is supposed to discuss with him it is Mr. Chris.
Chris?
Yes.
So without Chris, there is nobody who can speak on behalf of Skyfart?
He's the one just handled about it.
Let me call him.
The number you have called is currently switched off. Please try again later. Sorry, the number you have called is currently...
Sorry?
Put it silent.
He's admitted.
It is admitted.
For the last 1 month, we've been trying to reach out to Skyfart Tannery management for them to explain as to why they dumped the affluents on the road, something that is also blamed for some accidents on the very highway of Jinja Road.
We returned to Mbiko at midnight. We found trucks parked on both sides of the road, interfering with other road users. Locals who did not want to speak on camera fearing reprisal told NTV that the local leadership has refused to put this place in order because of the revenue that comes from the truck drivers. As we returned to Kampala, we once again encountered a trailer in Mabira Forest, which had been parked on the roadside for the last 2 days. Several people have died after their vehicles rammed into stationary trucks, especially in the night, where the vision is poor. Traffic police revealed another cause of accident.
These are not broken lines. It's supposed to be one straight unbroken line, which prohibits any overtaking. But because the road markings are faded, drivers use it as an excuse, so they overtake. Now, when you arrest a driver and you tell him that an offense has been committed, this place you're not supposed to overtake. The first question will ask you, Afande, where is the sign or where is the line?
I spoke to Engineer Jimmy Odwek, UNRWA's central manager, over the issue of faded road marks.
How long does UNRWA take in order to ensure that they mark the roads where the lines are faded, especially on Jinja Road?
These marks, they have a lifespan of between 4 to 5 years, depending on the traffic. But what we are doing as UNRWA, we are trying to roll out some framework contracts which will routinely replace the marks as and when they wear out.
Does UNRWA take responsibility of the souls and the blood that has been shed on that road as a result of accidents, especially emanating from the fact that there is no clear marking on that road?
We, of course, regret when people have accidents on the road, especially if we are directly responsible. But also, I think I should use this very opportunity to appeal to the people to always follow road signs and speed limits. The speed limits on most of our roads, if I may tell you, is 100 kilometers.
There are hardly any road signs from Kampala to Jinja.
What could be the problem, and how long does UNRWA take to ensure they replace some of the road signs that were vandalized or stolen?
UNRWA is not sitting back. We, of course, have a research and development department, and we are trying to research into new appropriate materials which do not have a good reusable value. We had already started piloting the use of plastics.
NTV spoke to some motorists who agree with the police findings.
Inategemea na dereva wengine anaweza toka kwa baa amelewa anaingia kwa gari na kuna mwingine anaweza kuwa na usingizi na baada anaendesha tu
blamed taxi drivers for causing most of the accidents along Mavira. Is it true?
Yeah, it is true. Because some other taxi drivers are carelessly. So when a driver thinks that there's a passenger in front, a stage like ahead, not Jembe stage, so he drive faster, which means he overtake.
Some people, they don't know climbing line, they don't know where to overtake from.
These are the black spots that you should be aware of. Namawojolo, Namagunga, Temple Steel Mill, Chitega, Chikakaula, Sagazi, Buola, Sanga in Mabila Forest, Lugalembo Tea Estate, Chitigoma, Enimbiko. There is only one hospital, Kawolo Hospital from Balala Mukono up to Jinja. Despite the high number of accidents that have claimed lives, some people survived with injuries but later died due to poorly facilitated old hospital. Though government is now expanding the hospital to increase its capacity, the hospital was dilapidated and a reflection of an ailing health sector. To the relatives who have lost their loved ones, this hospital is like a morgue, where accident casualties are sent to die a slow and agonizing death. The hospital has been in decrepit state, and its emergency unit can hardly offer treatment to save lives of those involved in accidents. NTV went back to find out from the hospital management their capacity to save lives, especially for the road accident casualties. The management was very reluctant about giving us an interview on this matter. We went there without appointment but managed to see senior principal officer.
Fine. My name is Sudhir Byaruhanga.
Yes.
I work with NTV.
Yes.
So basically we wanted to find out what capacity does this hospital have. We know there is a development that is going on, but what capacity does this hospital have in terms of handling the emergencies of people who have been involved in an accident?
That would be very nice for me to discuss. But I am not at liberty in many times. That's why I don't want to go a lot in the media. And this, I would have referred you to the medical superintendent or the hospital administrator. But right now...
He was reluctant to speak to us without authority, but we captured some off-cuff insights.
But are you able to admit and do blood transfusion? Do you do blood transfusion at this hospital?
Our services has never changed, even from the time they started the renovations. The only problem is the scarcity of blood, which is national. It's not our own making, but it's national. Because of the capacity of clients that we handle, the blood that is products that are being brought is just not enough. You can be supplied with about 10 units, but within 3 hours it's over. And that's
because of the many accidents.
The many accidents and the mothers who really need that support in maternity ward. So we must call blood transfusion, Nakasero. Do you have blood? Yes, come and collect. So if they have not given a go-ahead, you cannot go. The resources are limited. And we have days when we are supposed to collect.
How many people can you put on oxygen in a day? Like at the same time? If, let's say, there are 10 people brought and they are badly of life support.
Oxygen concentrators, the maximum we can is about 4.
And you know, many times you find there are like 30 casualties who really need oxygen.
Exactly. And That is what the government is doing, putting casualty units.
So before that, it means most of the
That's
souls
why
lost
the rest are referred.
hang on the head of the
Referred.
government.
Referred. That's the reason for referral. You know the levels of hospitals.
So do you have even ambulances that function? Only one. So when you refer people, how do they move?
That is it. That's
Only one like
yeah,
this?
that's the one. So what we do, police has ambulances. Don't put me. Don't.
Before the hospital is completed and stocked with crucial inputs like oxygen and blood, many casualties in need of blood will likely meet their death here. If the drivers of this taxi and this very one still had the chance to live, they would have reformed and become better drivers, but they would still be haunted by the souls of the people that perished in these two taxis. Most of you are still alive. You have a chance to reform and drive safely on the road by respecting all road users and also following other traffic regulations. But how many motorists are willing to comply without traffic officers on the road to enforce the law? Sudhir, Byaruhanga, NTV, Lugazi.